You're listening to Saturday Morning Media. And now, back to our show. Attraction Checklist fans, how would you like to get the ride audio from each of these episodes without all that pesky talking before and after? Well, now you can. The attraction audio from each episode of Attraction Checklist will be available exclusively to the patrons of Saturday Morning Media's Patreon campaign who pledge at any level. Head on over to patreon.com/Saturday Morning Media today to find out how to pledge. And thank you for your support.
Hi guys, this is Rachel.
And Zeke from the Behind the Magic podcast.
And you're about to listen to the Attraction Checklist.
Have fun!
My name is Grandpa Choco, and I invite you to join me on my quest to learn about and experience every Disney park attraction I possibly can. This is Attraction Checklist. Welcome to Attraction Checklist. This episode, we are taking a ride on Snow White's Scary Adventures at Disneyland. This dark ride is described in the guide map as follows. Hop inside a minecart and follow the path of Snow White as she flees into the dark forest to avoid the wrath of the evil queen. There's no height requirement for this attraction, and the thrill level describes the ride as being loud, dark, scary, and a slow ride. Now, before we head into the forest to find Snow White, here are 5 fast facts about Snow White's Scary Adventures. 1. Snow White's Scary Adventures is an opening day attraction that began operation on July 17, 1955. Back then, though, the ride was called Snow White's Adventures. The ride got its new name in 1983. 2. Snow White didn't actually appear in the ride until 1983 as well. When the ride opened in 1955, the Imagineers had designed the ride to make it feel as if the guests themselves were Snow White going through the forest and avoiding the evil queen. Many guests questioned where Snow White was, so in 1983 the ride was changed to include Snow White, though she only appears in the attraction once. 3. One of the signature effects of the attraction is the transformation of the evil queen into the old hag. This effect is achieved by having 2 figures rotate simultaneously, separated by a sheet of glass that is standing in for an actual mirror. 4. The ride vehicles for the attraction are each randomly named after one of the 7 dwarves. And 5. For years after the ride opened, guests were swiping one of the apples that the witch would hold out as they passed by. When the ride was revamped in 1983, an effect was created to make it seem as if the apple was there, but when guests reach out for it, their hands go right through it. Now let's visit Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs on Snow White's Scary Adventures. On the ride with me today is John B. DeHaas, and after we ride, we will discuss our thoughts on this classic Disneyland attraction. And if you have headphones, put them on now as we experience this binaural recording through Snow White's Scary Adventures.
Dwarfs can't hide Snow White from me.
John DeHaas, we just rode Snow White Scary Adventures. Were you scared?
Truly frightened.
I like that ride. That's a fun ride.
Yes, it's awesome. I love all the dark rides here at Disneyland because they're the original ones from when the park opened, correct?
Yeah.
A lot of them.
But I like when they add things that enhance it and doesn't take too much away, like the projection rain in that final scene. That's new. I haven't seen that before.
Okay. Yeah. I just remember I kept trying to compare this one to the one that used to be at the Magic Kingdom Disney World.
Yeah, I've never been on that one.
Never? It was similar, but it wasn't as scary.
Yeah, this is pretty scary.
Yeah,
it's pretty.
Yeah.
If you were a kid, you'd be
frightened. Yeah.
You'd be frightened. Is this one you do every time you come to the park?
Yeah, usually. Yeah, it's usually like a 5-10 minute wait. So yeah, I usually do this and Pinocchio and definitely Mr. Toad.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, thanks.
Yeah, it's fun.
Thanks, John.
Yep.
Do you agree or disagree with our thoughts on Snow White's Scary Adventures at Disneyland? Join the conversation on the Attraction Checklist Facebook page at facebook.com/attraction checklist. Also, for sources and links to this episode, visit our website at attractionchecklist.com. What attraction should we go on next? Send me an email at hello@saturdaymorningmedia.com, or you can let me know on Twitter, where my username is ToasterBoy. You can also post on the aforementioned Attraction Checklist Facebook page. Attraction Checklist is a production of Saturday Morning Media and made possible by the Saturday Morning Media Patreon patrons who've gone to patreon.com/Saturday Morning Media and set up a monthly donation for as little as $1 a month. Huge thanks to Shay Stewart, Merle Lafferty, Jeff Peterson, Dale Gadania, Steven Staver, Jackie Climo, Melissa Crawford, Chuck, Dave Slusher of the Evil Genius Chronicles, Mike Coughlin, Dorothy Pachoco, John D., Kathy Crawford, Brian Greer, Carrie Whitney, Chuck Tomasi from the Technorama podcast, Chris Foster, Stephen Ing, Clinton of ComedyForecast.com, Vicky DeVries, Mike Wobschall, Twitter user Butzengear, a.k.a. Wildcat, Eve Cunning, Mike Hamilton, Gaston Moreno, Reed Loveland, Ivan Asquith, Vanessa Whitney, Nancy McCarthy, Janine Lee, Peggy Etra, and Kristen Hogan of Squid Friends. If you'd like to support this show and the other fun content from Saturday Morning Media, become a patron. Head on over to patreon.com/Saturday Morning Media today and set up your donation. You can also tell a friend about the show or leave the show a review on iTunes. And while you're over there on iTunes, be sure to click that subscribe button. That way you'll get new episodes the moment they are released. Also, subscribing to the show through iTunes helps other people find the show as well. Thank you very much for listening. We'll talk to you soon. Attraction Checklist is copyright 2017 Saturday Morning Media, Grant Pachoco, executive producer, all rights reserved. www.saturdaymorningmedia.com. You've been listening to Saturday Morning Media. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.